Music, makeup, and mains. Music, makeup, and mains. Music, makeup, and mains. It's all about music, makeup, and my mains.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl K Charisma, and I'm coming at you with some great news today. My EP diary is almost out, and I know I've taken a small hiatus off of YouTube for about 2 weeks. There was just a lot going on. We had a holiday weekend with Memorial Day weekend. I wanted to take advantage of my family and just have a little bit of self-care. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm usually home with my son, and I had a few extra hands that weekend, so I definitely wanted to take advantage. Following that, it seems like, the nation just erupted at the news of George Floyd's unfortunate passing. And I just had to mourn that. I had to take that in. I had to just digest everything that meant for us as a people. As a Black woman and as a woman with a Black son, Black family, it kind of hit home for me. It was traumatic, to say the least. And I realized that that called for revolution, and I was also a part of that revolution in my own way. So I really just needed that time away from social media, away from posting my own content to honor that movement. So I am back, and this week we are going to talk about my new EP diary. You can actually pre-order it on the 13th. If you pre-order on the 13th, my single diary would be made available to you that very same day. And then the rest of the music will be available on the 27th of June. So the 27th of June is my actual EP release. There will be a live concert that you can tune into. It's gonna be live via my Instagram. It'll also be available on Facebook. I'll make sure to give you all that information closer to the time, and there will be a video in the next coming weeks with that information. And you'll just see me, go through the motions of getting this done. But if you know me, it's been a long time coming. I've been working on this project before I had my son, during the pregnancy, and after he was born. So just seeing this come to life from its conception, where I started this from the very beginning, it's just something that brings me so much joy. So I just want to give you a little more insight as far as where my heart was when I wrote the lyrics to these songs, because I do write on my lyrics and I write on my songs, and they are arranged by myself and my friend, manager, and producer, Darnell. So let's get into the first song. The first song is called Diary. That is my single. Many of you may have seen it on my YouTube page where I sing it, or maybe you even saw me perform it if you're in the South Florida area. That song, Diary, I wrote it in a transitionary period of my life. I was exiting a relationship that was domestically violent, or it had intimate partner violence, and that period was just so uncertain for me. I felt like a lot of people didn't understand. A lot of people didn't even know I was going through that dark period in my life. And it was almost embarrassing for me because people wouldn't expect me to accept that kind of behavior. I don't know why we put that stigma on people, why we think that certain situations are above people. It's unfortunate, but because of that, I felt ashamed to talk to anybody about it. And so I kind of had to talk to God, and I said, God, I don't feel safe anywhere. I don't have a safe space to have this conversation with anybody. So I really just asked God to just be my diary, to be my comfort, to be my shelter, to be the shoulder I needed. And He provided all of that for me. I was able to let go of that shame and just be transparent with God, even in my weakness. And by the grace of God, I was able to leave that relationship and that situation. And thankfully, I'm here still, and that person is, also doing their own thing, which is good as well. So I'm glad I got out of that, and I'm very glad that God just gave me that comfort I needed in that time. When I wrote Diary, very similarly to when I write all my other music, for some reason the inspiration comes to me when I'm somewhat distracted. So I'm typically driving, on the road, or I'll be washing dishes. It's so random. Sometimes I even get inspiration in my sleep. But when I wrote Diary, I was on the road. I was kind of down that day, and it was raining. And I remember the lyrics just came to me, so I parked and I started singing the song Diary. And I'll give you a little clip so you can hear it. It goes something like, so when the rain keeps pouring and the clouds start storming from my eyes, you wipe them dry
And when I feel it take over, you're the solid shoulder, you're my friend until the end. 'Cause you promised me when I need a diary. So that is the chorus to my song. And definitely get my EP so you can hear that song over and over again. I really love it, not just because I wrote it, but because I feel like those lyrics can touch anybody that has been in that situation. So definitely check that out. The next song I'm gonna talk to you about is my song called Jesus, I'm Ready. And this song was also just getting over that transition. So I was also down, I was in a depressive state, and I remember I just didn't feel like I knew my purpose. And frankly, today, present day, I don't feel like I know the fullness of my purpose, although I feel like I'm more on track. So purpose is a funny thing, you know, when you think about it, when you think about how multifaceted we are as beings, when you think about how many dimensions we have as people, it's hard to focus like all your energies on just one thing, especially if you're passionate about more than one. So around that time, I kind of didn't know where I wanted to go, but God was leading me to music, and God was leading me to help people. And you know, eventually I was able to change my major. I was previously a nursing major, now I'm a social work graduate, and I was able to find myself. But the song starts saying, some days I don't want to sing, my heart feels heavy. Is that the weight of sin, you know? And then the chorus is more hopeful, and it talks about how God has chosen us as a people. We are his royal priesthood, we are royalty. And I was able to see myself in the same light that God saw me when I read that scripture. And it just warmed my heart to know that even when I felt unworthy, not good enough, too sad to be a minister, God was like, nah, you're good. And you know, in all your brokenness, you're just broken enough to reach who I need you to reach. And that just spoke to my heart, and I'm so glad that even in fear, even in this state of insufficiency, God was able to use me, and I was able to still proceed and bring forth this project by his grace with the help of so many people that rooted for me and supported me throughout the way. The next song is Rear View. There's a total of 4 songs on this EP. The next song, Rear View, talks about not looking back. Similar to a rear view mirror, you look in the distance at what might be, you know, behind you, what cars might be doing, how to move ahead. And honestly, that song kind of spoke, that's my baby monitor. That song kind of spoke in regards to just looking back. And I kind of realized I don't have to look back to go forward, you know? So I kind of just asked God, Lord, keep my eyes on the road, keep me focused. I don't want to look back, take my past, no more rear view. So that song is kind of about just moving forward with God, even in uncertainty, even in all of that, you know? And my EP, the song order, you'll kind of see that it's kind of a progression of my life, and it's also a progression of how a diary entry would look, you know? So I definitely like that song. The beat on that goes hard. I'm just gonna keep it real. Darnell did his thing, and I really, really thoroughly enjoy working with him, simply because I come to him with the music in my head, and he has to get it out of my head and put it on some keys, put it on some other instruments, make it sound like the feel I wanted to give it. And I love just the versatility in his production. I'm so grateful that, you know, I have him as a homie, you know? And yeah, I'm just grateful for that. So definitely Rear View is one of my favorite songs. You're gonna love it. And the last song is called Go by Grace. This song, I really enjoy it also. It has a little reggae beat, and it's super chill. It goes, oh, 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 I go by grace. Oh, 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 that's my new name. So that song, what it speaks to is just wanting to be sincere with God. Like, backsliding is a thing. Like, we don't always get it right, and growth is not linear, you know? So even though I have had times where I've felt like on a Jesus high, and like I was, you know, on my way to be this amazing Christian, I have slipped up. And the song was really and literally me telling God,
God, I don't want to fake it anymore. Like this is who I am, and I have sinful nature, and I don't want to be this, but it seems like sin keeps finding me. So if you have to, God, like change my name so that sin can't find me, you know? And that was kind of what I was on when I wrote that song. So when I say I go by grace, it means change my name to Grace so that sin doesn't know where to find me. But also, I want to go by grace in the sense that I want to go by the grace of God. So yeah, that is all 4 songs. I definitely hope you download my EP. It is coming very, very soon to, you know, a music outlet near you. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching.